lesson, we'll take a look at how to access the key value store by name Redis from within a Java program. For this, we'll be using the Jar file by name Jedis. We'll understand the entire thing by coding a very small application, and this application will maintain the phone numbers of several users. When we give the username as input, we'll be getting the phone number as output from this application. We will start coding this using Java and Redis. Okay, now let's go to the demonstration. I'm running Redis 3.0.504 version in my system. Both the server and client is running in the same system. First, let me ping the server. Okay, I'm able to get a response. Now I'm going to set the phone number for a user. Here the phone number and the username both will be strings. We are going to use the concept of strings for maintaining the database of phone numbers of several users. We have already learned the various commands associated with strings in Redis. We have also learned other data structures like lists, sets, hashes, and sorted sets. If you have not visited those lectures, please visit that lecture and come to this lecture. So here we are going to use the set command and set the username and phone number for a particular user. We'll see how to do that. It's set, username is Satish, and then the phone number will give some dummy number. Okay, we have set the phone number for one particular user. We can also set the phone number for multiple users using the mset command. So for Jeff, we'll have the phone number as 4444, and for Tom, we'll have the phone number as 333, and for Rom, we'll have the phone number as 766. We'll also be able to retrieve the phone numbers of multiple users using the mget command. Let's see how to do that. It's mget for Satish, Jeff, Tom, and Rom. Get the phone numbers. Yeah, we're able to do that. We can also get the phone number for a specific user by using the get command, that is get Satish. So I received the phone number for Satish. So now using a Java program, we're going to connect to the Redis database, and then we are going to set the phone number for a user, and we are also going to get the phone number for a particular user by providing the username as input. We'll see how to code this using Java. We'll move to Eclipse now. First, let us see how to establish a connection with the Redis Data Store. For that, we need to download and add the Jedis Jar file to our project. So this is a demo on establishing a connection with the Redis Data Store. For this, we need to download and add the Jedis Jar file to our project. From where we can get this Jedis Jar file? For that, we should go to Google and download this file. So what I have done is I have just searched for Jedis Jar download, and I went to the first link and downloaded this jar file from here. So you can save this file to a folder. Say I've already saved this file to a folder. Let me show you where I have this. So I have this zip file here. I've extracted that zip file, and it's in this folder here. And you can see I have Jedis 2.8.1. This is the jar file we are going to use in our project in Eclipse. So I'll tell you how to add this jar file to our project in Eclipse. So in Eclipse, I have created a project called Redis example. To add this jar file, right click on the project and go to properties. So I have right clicked and go to properties, and in properties you go to Java build path, and you can click on add external jars. And browse to the folder where you have this jar file. Just click open, apply, and close. Since I've already added this file, you can see Jedis 2.8.1.jar is part of my project now. So you apply that and close. And after you apply, you can see this particular jar file is part of the reference libraries. So you need this jar file to establish a connection with the database and to perform the commands on the Redis data store. So this is the very first step, and I have already got my Redis running in my system. I've told you that. So, so I have Redis 3.0.504, which is running in my system. Let me start the client and server. Okay, so I have the client and server running in my system. Now what we are going to do is establish a connection with the Redis Data Store from Eclipse. For that, let me put all the code inside a try catch block. Will handle any exceptions that arises. Okay, let's print the stack trace. And now, how will you establish a connection is you'll need an object of type Jedis. So we'll create an object of type Jedis, and I call this to be phone number DB. And where Jedis is running, you have to mention that as localhost. So that's how you establish a connection with the Redis data store. And we can say sysout connection established successfully. Okay, let's run this. Let's check whether our connection is successful here. Yeah, connection has been established successfully. We can also check whether the connection is successful by setting the username and phone number for one specific user. For this, we'll use the object name phone number DB. So let me use this object name phone number DB dot, and then we'll go with set, and we'll set the key and value to be strings. Let me say I'll set Satish to be the key, and the value is the phone number. Let me set some dummy number here, 76543. So we have set the key and value. So key is Satish, value is 7654333, and we can say this is out the data entered into the database, just for a reference. Okay, now let's go to the database and check whether we have this key called Satish and this phone number. See, earlier I have shown you some demo of certain key value pairs. I have deleted all these key value pairs using the del command. Now let me go and do a get Satish. See, we don't have the key value pair called Satish in our database. So we are going to execute this code and check whether this is inserting the data to the database. So we have executed it. Let's check whether we have received the output messages, data entered into the database. Now let's go to the client and then let's do get Satish. You see our data got inserted to the database. So our connection with the Redis database is successful. Okay, now let us go and code that application, that phone number DB application. So what this application will do is it will get in the list of usernames and phone numbers and move it to the database, and then it will get the search username from the user, and it will search for that username in the database, and if the username is present it will return the phone number, or else it will say no such username present in the database. So for better understanding, let us code this simple application. So we will get the username and phone number from the user. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll get the username and phone numbers for 3 users, and then we'll move the data to the database. So we'll run a for loop here for int I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and inside this we'll ask the users to enter the username, and we'll get the username in a string. We'll get the username and phone number in a string. So we'll say string username comma phone number, and let me reduce this. Okay, to get this username, what we need is we need a scanner class. Let me define a scanner object here. So it is a scanner object. We call the scanner object to be input new scanner. We are reading data from the console, so system.in. And now what we'll do is we'll read in this data using the scanner object. So it is username is fetched in, so it's input dot next line. So we have fetched in the username. We'll ask the user to enter the phone number, and what we'll do is we'll say phone number is equal to input dot next line. We'll use the scanner object here. And now we have to move this data to the Redis data store. For that, what we'll do is we'll use the object phone number db dot, its phone number db dot set. We'll set the key and value. The key is username, that's the user and has entered, and the value is phone number. Okay. So we have moved the data to the Redis data store, and we are going to perform that for 3 users. The next thing is we are going to ask the user to enter a username for searching. So we'll have a sysort statement. We'll say enter the username for searching, and we'll have the string search, which is going to get the username, that is next line. So this is the username that we're going to search, and for this username we're going to print the corresponding phone number. Okay, now we'll let us search the database. We'll just use a simple if condition. If phone number db dot get, and then we'll pass the username. So if this returns null, then it means that there is no such user in the database. So we'll say sysout. We'll say no such user in the database. Else, if it's not returning null, then it returns some value. So we'll just print that value here, that is phone number db dot get, and then what we'll do is we'll pass the string search string here. So it's just a simple get with the search username, so it's going to return the corresponding phone number. That's it, our code is done. Let's see whether we're able to maintain this simple database. Let's run this. So here enter the username. I'll enter for Ram phone number 111, and for Tom let's enter phone number 222, and for Jeff let's enter phone number 333. So for 3 users we have entered. So we'll enter the username for searching. We'll enter and search for the user Jeff. So the phone number is 333. We should also run this for another test case, that is what if the user is not present in the database. So let me again give, say for Ram it is 111, and for Tom it is 222, and for Jeff it is 333. And now if I enter some username like test, which is not present in the database, we are getting no such user in the database. We'll also go to the client and check whether that particular data has got inserted here. We'll see get Ram, Tom, Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to use mget Ram, Tom, Jeff, because we are getting multiple phone numbers here. We have to use multiple get, so we're able to get that. So that's how you can write or you can access Redis data store from within a Java program. I hope this demonstration was clear to you. Thank you.